All right, let's see if we can finish at least chapter 21 before I let you go. The 12 gates are 12 pearls. Each of the gates is a single pearl, and the street of the city is pure gold, transparent as glass. And so here's this image of a pearly gate. You know, this is our typical understanding of what heaven is like. You know, the pearly gates of heaven. It really isn't heaven. It's really an image of the church, where we get this idea of the pearly gates and the streets of gold. It's the church. It's not heaven. Interesting, isn't it? But again, pearls, gold, precious stones. This is like what a bride would be wearing on her wedding day, you know, on the ceremony. All dolled up and ready to meet her bridegroom, right?
Yes.
There you are. We are to doll ourselves up, if you will. And how do we do that? Righteous deeds. How do we do those? Out of love through the Holy Spirit, where we are transforming ourselves into this image. Let's keep going. I saw no temple in the city. Why? The temple is the Lord God the Almighty and the Lamb. The city had no need for sun or moon. Why? The glory of God is its light, and its lamp is the Lamb. Who's the Lamb? Jesus. It's too bad we don't hear that more often in Mass, do we?
The Lamb. Yes. Lamb of God.
Lamb of God.
Take away the sins of the world. Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world. Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world.
Grant us peace.
Behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. Happy are they who are
Called to the
supper of the Lamb, right? The Mass is the way that we get acquainted to the Lamb of God. Same Lamb that's being talked about here. When you go to Mass, you're experiencing a little bit of heaven now. You need to have that revealed. You need to see through all of the physicalness of it. It's a bit of heaven now, my brothers and sisters. What a privilege it is for us to go to Mass, to experience this. If we have but eyes to see, ears to hear. The nations will walk by its light, and the kings of the earth will bring their glory. The gates will never be shut by day. There will be no night. People will bring into it the glory and honor of the nations, but nothing unclean will enter it, nor anyone who practices abomination or falsehood, but only those who are written in the Lamb's book of life. Now, there is one thing I wanted to mention here. Verse 23 says, there is no need for sun or moon to shine, because the glory of God is its light. I would also like to point out that the reason that there's no sun or moon is that this is an eternal state. An eternal state. Because the sun and moon were originally created for what reason?
Give light.
No, there was already light created. What's the purpose of the sun and moon?
To differentiate night and day.
To measure the time. Measure time. Go back to Genesis. Verse 14, and God said, let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day from the night. Well, we already had light. That was the first day. God said, let there be light, and there was light. The light was good and separated the light from darkness. He called the light day and the darkness night. So we had day and night before there was a sun and a moon. Do you see that? It's on the fourth day that God creates the lights to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, for days and years. That's why we have the sun and the moon. And it was so. God made two great lights. The greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. So that's another reason why there's no sun or moon in the New Jerusalem. It's because there's no need to count time. It's a timeless state. It's eternity. I would argue that when you go to Mass, you are participating in a timeless moment. This is a, if you will, a mystical thought. Bear with me for just 2 more minutes. Something to ponder for next week. When you go to Mass, you are entering into a timeless moment. An eternal moment, if you will. You go, how? Because the Mass is the representation of Christ's death and resurrection, which is an eternal moment. It stretches from the beginning of time to the end of time. It covers the sins of the whole world, from the time of Adam to the last man or woman that's ever created. And so when you go to Mass, you're entering into that. And when you enter into that moment, you're entering into God's time. God's time, because it's an eternal moment. The Jews have an understanding of this that we Christians really don't. Because every time they celebrate Passover, the Jewish understanding of Passover is that they are celebrating the very first Passover, as if they themselves were leaving Egypt. It's an eternal event that transcends the centuries. They ask the same questions that were asked by the first Passover. They do the same things. They eat the same foods. They understand as if they were leaving Egypt themselves in the same way, in the very same way, because Jesus took the Passover meal and made the first Mass. In the same way, when we go to Mass, we're entering into that same time as if we were there with Jesus during the Last Supper. He says the same things he said to his apostles. This is the cup of my blood. Drink. This is my body. Eat. It's the same moment that we just enter into. So think about that. Ponder that next time you enter into it, that you're entering into an eternal moment of time, timelessness. Seth.
Yeah, I was going to say, I understand what the main concept was, what you're saying, and I get that to some degree, but it can't be the exact same because they leave the place for Elijah, and that never even happened until after, because he wasn't a prophet till...
Right, it has evolved over time, but the basic meal, the basic idea, the basic celebration is the same. In the same way, Jesus didn't say, behold the Lamb of God. He didn't say any of that at the Last Supper, but that's part of what is being presented. It is a timeless moment. So that is why the Mass is a true sacrifice, because it is as if we were at the cross, even though we're not, and it's not really the same Jesus because he's not hanging on a cross in our churches. He's in sacramental form. It is a timeless moment that we enter into, and this is the big mystical understanding that the saints understood. Many times the saints would go into an ecstasy and they would see Jesus on the cross at Mass, or they would see some sort of moment like this where they were in connection with that mystical moment. It's really interesting, the ecstasies that certain saints had during Mass. It's well worth looking into if you want a deeper understanding of that. And I'm just going to leave you for that right now. We're going to pick this up. We're going to hit chapter 22 next week. We're slowly getting to the end of the end.
Thank you.
Good evening. Oh, yes, the renovation of the church, DVDs are up here for sale.
Bye, thank you.
How much are they? Donation. If you want to pick up a DVD, please put a donation within the